a quiet zone. That means I just have to turn off all the audio. I'll tell you more about that as we get closer. For now, we are out of here. Let's put on our exit music. Wave goodbye to everybody to the left. Everybody, bye. We are leaving the theme park behind and heading into the heart of the studio where tons of Hollywood's top talent come to work every single day. And speaking of top talent, I think that is an excellent segue to introduce you to my co-host. You may know him from The Tonight Show, or That's My Jam, and you know it as Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there! You made it! Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guy.
Kelly.
And the greatest driver.
Amanda.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Kelly
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right. We do have a few safety rules. First, if you need any assistance during the tour, or if you have a medical emergency, if you drop something of value off the side of the tram, or if you have sound or video issues, then reach up and pull the red cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram. As soon as it is safe to do so, I'll be back to assist you. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please stay seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the tram at all times. The studio is private property. If at any point during the tour you drop your phone or you can't wait to use the restroom, then pull the cord, then remain seated. No smoking of any kind during the tour, and be prepared. Our tour today features loud noises, sudden tram movements, fire effects, and water effects. You'll want to have your cameras out for great photos, but keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. And finally, for your safety and for those around you, please no use of selfie sticks while you are on board. All right, time for the fun stuff. We are traveling down our movie poster timeline. Movie posters on either side of the tram represent just a few of the thousands of films that Universal has produced throughout the years. It's an exciting time to be here at Universal. We recently entered our second century of filmmaking. It all started back in 1912 with this guy on your screens waving his hat. That's Mr. Carl Laemmle, our founder. So he founded us on the East Coast, found out the weather was better for filming out here on the West Coast, moved out here. We officially opened up to the public on March 15, 1915. The studio tour officially started in 1964. So Carl Laemmle called Universal City the strangest city in the world. We are technically a city. We have our own sheriff station, our own zip code, and our own fire station. You'll see over here to your right. That's real, it's not a set. Laemmle really believed people would enjoy seeing movie making up close and personal behind the scenes, and he was right. A lot of people showed up back then, and here you guys are today. Here's the fire station. And as we continue down our timeline, at the tops of these movie posters, you'll notice our iconic Universal Globe logo. It's aging and evolving as the studio ages down the timeline. Our first few years of films didn't open with that logo, but nowadays it's hard to imagine a Universal film not starting this way. And we are headed towards our front lot right now, where TV shows and films are made inside of our sound stages. And the first sound stage you see is to your left. This is Soundstage 12. It's the biggest one we have on the lot. Up until recently, it was home to The Voice, but they moved over to a newer sound stage we're going to pass later on in the tour. But some really big sets have been inside of this sound stage, like Frankenstein's Lab, Dracula's Castle, Scarface's Mansion, and the Visitor Center from Jurassic Park. And now we're making our way further onto our front lot. Over to your right, you see some buildings kind of under construction, and that is Super Nintendo World, officially opening on February 17th. To your left, you see we are very close to some sound stages. A lot of cool stuff is shot inside of these. The Peacock original Bel Air, starring Jabari Banks and Cassandra Freeman. They used these stages directly to your left. CSI, crime scene investigation. They shot here for years inside of 4 different sound stages. This is where Britney Spears shot her Oops, I Did It Again music video. Kelly Clarkson films her talk show inside of Soundstage 1. The HBO Max show Hacks films here. And these two stages to your left, these used to be home to Superstore, the NBC comedy that starred America Ferrera of Ugly Betty fame.
I know it's hot in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
Yeah, you know, the heat makes us all act.
If your face stays where it is, it's gonna get
So we have 36 sound stages on our lot. There is no number 13. Filmmakers can be kind of superstitious. And the part of Superstore that used to film inside of those 2 stages we just passed is the part you see on your screens. It was the actual inside of the store. It was so big it took up 2 sound stages. Superstore used to use the 3rd sound stage you'll see over here to your left behind all these trucks and trailers and vans. That's stage 14. 14 also used to be home to the Mindy Project, the Mindy Kaling Show. Some big films from the 90s shot inside of stage 14. Steven Spielberg used it for some scenes from Jurassic Park, and director Ron Howard used it for Apollo 13. NASA's mission control was inside of it. And these really big doors you're seeing on these sound stages, those are called elephant doors. When the elephant doors are closed, a sound stage is about 97-98% soundproof. That's the really big advantage to filming on the inside of one. Also, you don't have to worry about weather, so if it rains, it does not matter. The NBC shows Parenthood and Good Girls used to film inside of these stages to your right. Family Feud, hosted by Steve Harvey, also used these, as well as Hollywood Game Night, hosted by Emmy winner Jane Lynch.
Whose name is worth more in Scrabble tiles? Uzo Aduba or David Oyelowo?
On the show, they would say that was inside of Jane's house. It was really inside of these sound stages to your right. Also, the NBC comedy The Good Place that starred Ted Danson and Kristen Bell. They used to film their interior scenes inside of the sound stages behind the Minions to your right. That show's all done now, but Ted Danson reused these same sound stages for his latest NBC comedy, Mr. Mayor, which he was in with Bobby Moynihan from Saturday Night Live. And here are some classic TV shows we've been responsible for those years. On a fairly quick schedule. One episode takes anywhere from about a week, maybe 2 weeks tops to complete from the first read through to the final taping. Film is a completely different story. Film takes months, sometimes years to complete. We need hundreds of people to help complete them. Some of those people work to your left in our production bungalows. These bungalows used to be dressing rooms to Hollywood's top stars like Rock Hudson, Doris Day, Jimmy Stewart, Tony Curtis. They're now where Hollywood's top writers, producers, and directors come to work every day. This bungalow close to us to your left, that used to be Robert Zemeckis's. He directed all of the Back to the Future films, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Forrest Gump, and Castaway. Illumination works here. They brought us on the Despicable Me films, The Minions, The Secret Life of Pets, and Sing. Jordan Peele's production company is here. He did Get Out, Us, and his latest film was Nope. We'll talk much more about that later on in the tour. Don't miss this next bungalow on your left. It's bungalow 5195. You'll want to look down next to the door. You're going to see a familiar portrait. This portrait. This next bungalow used to belong to Mr. Alfred Hitchcock.
Good evening. My name is Alfred Hitchcock.
We all go looking back sometime.
You should have seen them.
And now to your left, we're next to some newer offices and sound stages. These were built just a few years ago. First production in them was Hairspray Live. They were then used by Jennifer Lopez for World of Dance, then by America's Got Talent, then by the new seasons of Will and Grace. Now they're being used by 2 NBC comedies, American Auto and Lopez versus Lopez. That stars George Lopez. So that's been a busy area full of a lot of talent, and so's this next area we're headed to. We're leaving the front lot behind. We are officially entering our back lot. Out here on the back lot, the world is around the corner at every turn. This is where we come to film our exterior scenes on a very large scale. Speaking of large scale, up ahead and to our left, these are our metro sets, our metropolitan city sets. A lot of cool stuff is shot back here. Shows like NCIS, How I Met Your Mother, Comedy Central's Key and Peele, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, American Ninja Warrior. Recently, the NBC reboot of Quantum Leap starring Raymond Lee, and the Peacock series Ted starring Seth MacFarlane. Also really big films like Captain America the First Avenger, Transformers, Spider-Man, Fate of the Furious, and Hobbs and Shaw. As we pull forward, look down the street to your left, you see a bunch of stuff. So that street we call New York Street, all that stuff, that's that decoration for a production that's been getting set up to film in there. It's one of two that have been filming here that we're not allowed to talk about, which means it's extra cool, so burn it into your memory. So our Metro Street sets are pretty cool. There's a really good reason for that. It's because the creative design was supervised by Steven Spielberg. But Spielberg's not the only Oscar award-winning director Universal has collaborated with throughout the years. Another one is Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker.
So everybody get your 3D glasses ready. Make sure you've got a good hold on all of your belongings. Once we go in, there's no telling what's going to happen to us in there. Remain seated at all times. Please no use of flash and enjoy the ride. One of the largest and most intense 3D experiences on the planet. Now just wipe off the dinosaur spits. Little drive-in shake us good on a chilly Monday afternoon. Got a big battle was projected onto one of the world's largest 3D digital screens, standing 40 feet tall and 180 feet long. It was produced by Peter Jackson and the filmmakers over at Weta FX. The filmmakers at Weta have won 6 Academy Awards and have worked on tiny little films you might have heard of, including King Kong, Avatar, and the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit trilogies. Here's a behind-the-scenes glance at how they made that ride.
With a project like the studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions, there's creatures coming at them, they're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side.
Working on a movie, we always know where the people are looking. They're looking straight ahead, they're looking at the shot that we're working on.
Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions.
Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts, because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away.
We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
So you can take off your 3D glasses, but don't lose them. Hold on to them. You need them later on in the tour for Fast and Furious Supercharged. And speaking of Fast and Furious, in all of those films, all of those cars are what we call picture cars. A picture car is any vehicle that's been shown on screen, and our TRAM is actually one. Here's some of our TRAM cameos from throughout the years. Coming up on your left, you guys get to see some other pretty cool picture cars. Kids love the picture cars from the Flintstones and Harry Potter. And if you saw Jurassic World, you will definitely recognize the gyrosphere. The sphere part looks like it's missing, but it was never actually there. It was CGI in the movie, computer generated imagery. So some of those cars we just saw do still have engines in them and are still drivable. Some of them we've taken the engines out. Can't drive those anymore. Why would we do that to ourselves? Sometimes we just want the shell of the car. That way it's very light. We can throw it up in the air, flip it around and manipulate it like we do in our Fast and Furious films. But also like we do in our Jurassic Park films. Ooh, Jurassic Park, let's go there.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
The picture cars and props and set pieces on either side of the tram were used in Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park films. Fans of the Lost World Jurassic Park might recognize the mobile lab unit. It's to your left. It's the same one that dangled over a cliff in the film. We do keep some dinosaurs back here. Keep your eyes peeled. They're in there. Oh, that cage is empty. Oh, so is that one. Uh-oh. They might have gotten out. So that mobile lab unit we passed back there, I said it dangled over a cliff in the film The Lost World, but the cliff wasn't really a cliff. It was actually a parking garage on our front lot, and we drove by it just a few minutes ago. Here is a look at that scene. I'll pause it right there. That's a good look. So that's the side of a parking garage, just camouflage with some set decorations, some fake greens from our greens department, and Steven Spielberg directed that scene. He directed the first 2 Jurassic Park films and was executive producer on the rest of them. Now watching that, you probably noticed the lighting's dark, they use rain. Weather plays an important role in setting the right mood for a scene. But when we need to create the weather, it is an interesting challenge. So we are in Old Mexico right now. I'm hearing thunder. Ooh, it's raining. But you can see that rain's not real. It's kind of only happening on the left side of the tram. That rain is the result of an overhead sprinkler system. It's just shooting the water up in the air, then it falls down to the earth in a natural looking way, just using gravity. On screen, this looks real. It's exactly how we create rain for TV and film. However, this is a really old part of our lot. We're actually not supposed to let this effect go on for too long. Some weird stuff's happened back here before. So guys, can we cut the rain effects if you're back from your break? Are you guys back? Uh-oh, I don't think they're back. Everybody hold on. We had a flash flood. That one wasn't real either though. That's recycled water being released from tanks at the top of the hill. Here's what that looked like in Make That Liar.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid!
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I love it! Hang on, funny motion!
Old Mexico's also been seen in Nacho Libre with Jack Black, Three Amigos with Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase, and Criminal Minds Beyond Borders. But we are crossing the border now onto the streets of the Old West. Welcome to 6 Points, y'all. So old Western TV shows and films shot back here. Seabiscuit starring Tobey Maguire used it. Call of the Wild starring Harrison Ford, but also Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio worked back here on Quentin Tarantino's film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But there's another old Western that's shot back here.
Mr. Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal line.
I hear this is where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot you.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now what say you mount up and get out of town while the getting's good?
All right. Well, I'll see you again, Fallon.
Oh, you can count on me, Fallon. Now get.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
We just have to talk it out, that's all.
And this area is called 6 Points because we have 6 streets. Back in the silent film era, when sound did not matter, a different film could be shot on each street at the exact same time, so 6 films could be shot at once. Our tour is now at about the halfway mark. I'm required to remind everybody to stay seated. Remember, if you need assistance, pull the red emergency cord and I'll be back there to help you out. So we left the Old West. To your left, you're going to see a gap in these trees. You'll see some water, some sound stages. These are newer sound stages. It's where The Voice now films, also American Song Contest. But the water is the Black Lagoon from the creature from the Black Lagoon. And that's very appropriate because now we are headed towards Little Europe, and Little Europe is where a lot of the original monster movie films shot their exterior scenes, like the original Frankenstein, the original Dracula. Universal basically invented the monster movie genre back in the late 20s, early 30s when America was going through the Great Depression. But modern day audiences recognize Little Europe as The Good Place, the NBC comedy that stars Ted Danson and Kristen Bell.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I have never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here.
So fans of the show will recognize this grassy area to your left. That's where all those neighborhood meetings took place. Coming up around the corner to your left, you'll see the train station they used a lot.
I can't risk going to the bad place.
Okay, well, maybe it's not all that bad.
Hi there. How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
So that's what Little Europe looks like, bright, shiny, new, and in color for The Good Place. But here's what it looked like in black and white for the original Frankenstein films.
Listen now, remember, he's in the woods. Get out the bloodhounds. Raise all the men you can, lock the women indoors, and wait for me. Are you ready? Take your torches and go!
Why don't you shoot me?
When we think of Universal, we think of monsters.
Dracula, Frankenstein,
Wolfman,
Bride of Frankenstein,
The Mummy,
The Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Invisible Man, Phantom of the Opera. Classic films. They're just brilliantly made.
That Frankenstein image,
Flathead, balls.
it's one of the great icons of the world.
That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film. And I was just mesmerized by this movie. Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me.
They still ring in our memories now, and we love them.
We continue our monster movie tradition with our annual Halloween Horror Nights event every October. And The Good Place and those monster films aren't the only things that used Little Europe. 1930s, All Quiet on the Western Front. That was Universal's very first Best Picture Oscar winner. They shot back there. It was the streets of Germany for that film. And a lot of other stuff. City Slickers 2, The Good German. And whenever anybody is filming, it's what we call a hot set. We are getting the green light to go into our very own hot set right now. This is Soundstage 50. They've been shooting a film in here, but every time they go on break, they give us the green light to go in. So you can see what the inside of a soundstage looks like. Make sure you remain seated as we check this out. We're not allowed to stay in here very long. The Fox Show Bone shot this in here.
Look, they're sweets.
He looks very upset.
When I talked to him, he said the guy died in his arms.
That's with the FBI?
FBI, yeah. We hear about the human remains.
That's him. Right over there.
This is a rare soundstage because it's 2 stories. There's a street scene built above us with a tanker up there. Ooh. Huh. We're in LA, sometimes you get tricked. The director asked that we... Okay, everybody, hold on. Uh-oh, look out the back. Street scene's falling in. It's over. Let's get out of here before the water main breaks. That thing breaks here. Congratulations, everybody. Just another earthquake that we won. I was not lying to you. All of that really was used on the hot show. So here's what it looks like when it's all put together for TV.
What's going on?
Let's get out of here! The water main just broke!
So everybody, we're about to enter that quiet zone that I mentioned briefly on the load line right before we left. So there is filming going on that you won't see immediately at first. You'll see it in a minute or two. We're going to go through some other areas, but the sound on the tram is so loud that it'll travel. So it's for a top secret production that we are not allowed to talk about, but they are filming on Colonial Street, which you guys also know as Wisteria Lane, home to Desperate Housewives. So I gotta go quiet now. I'll talk to you guys on the other side. This means you have to survive Jaws without me. Good luck. Alright, now we are out of the quiet zone, so we've turned onto our own little street. To your right, you'll see some more picture cars. A lot of these are from the Fast and Furious films. Kind of looks like somebody's got a pretty cool car collection. But I don't think it's the guy next door, because the guy next door is a psycho. Next door is Norman Bates, star of Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller Psycho. This is the Bates Motel. At the top of the hill, you'll see the Psycho house. And am I psycho, or did I just spy? Yeah, that's Norman Bates. What's he doing? Uh-oh. Okay, we're going. Bye, Norman. Super rude. Pulling out of that. No, we're leaving. We're going. The Bates Motel and Psycho House are two examples of two of the oldest, most classic sets still standing in Hollywood today. But as we turn the corner, we turn into one of the most colossal movie sets ever constructed, the plane crash site from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise. This is what remains of the neighborhood where Tom Cruise hides out in the film. On your left, that is a real 747 airplane.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about the War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Now I'm closed. Robbie, get in. Get in.
So we're now about 10 minutes away from the end of the tour. Just a reminder, pull the emergency cord if you need assistance, otherwise remain seated. So Universal's been honored to work throughout the years with such generation-defining directors as Spielberg and Hitchcock, and we're thrilled to add another name to the list, Academy Award-winning writer-director Jordan Peele. So I told you guys he did Get Out, Us, and his latest film was Nope, and we are headed to the actual sets from Nope right now. We are going to Jupiter's Claim, and here is Jordan Peele.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jupe Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sharing. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Well, I do. A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of a UFO hotspot. What's a bad miracle? You're about to find out. Welcome to the world of no.
Take their advice and get out. Nope is available to stream on Peacock until March 17th. Oh, now we're getting a message. What's going on?
Look, this might be more serious than I thought.
What?
What just happened? This is a secure line. Who are you?
I'll tell you who I am, boy. I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight. I'm the reason the boogeyman begs his mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service, and as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are?
Let me clue you in on two things, sweet cheeks. One, there's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle. And two, an international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle to take that witness out.
Okay, so he wants us to hide out here from Shaw. I hear a party going on next door. Sounds fun. You don't need to put on your 3D glasses yet, but do have them ready. Let's just be prepared, remain seated, and now we'll await further instruction.
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. Our buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you with Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
All right, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and we'll meet you in there.
Well, this is fun. We got an invite to the party going on next door. You still don't need to put on your 3D glasses. For now, we can just enjoy the party from our seats.
This is what we're doing. This is the race day after party. And where the other?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move.
Yeah.
That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Hobbs, escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss.
You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, Our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate.
Sure traced us. Ops can't hold them forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
Your 3D glasses now. We're gonna hide out incognito in this purple lounge.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn.
After them!
Okay, guys, it's showtime! Coming along! Let's be a little faster! Roman, Letty, hook him up! Now we're moving!
Dad, look out! You give me the witness to it or we call it a day! The witness is mine, Letty!
How about you eat asphalt?
Don't think you're getting away! Find them!
Way to go, Letty! Not gonna happen! Don't worry, I got this! Under construction! Get the entrance!
We're not gonna make it!
Ride or die!
My Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it.
They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys did good out there. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
So that blockbuster action sequence we just experienced is a great example of modern day filmmaking, and for over 100 years, Universal Studios has been thrilling audiences around the globe by making them laugh or cry or sit on the edge of their seats. Now we are nearing the end of our tour. On behalf of myself, again, I'm Kelly, our driver Amanda, my co-host Jimmy Fallon, and everybody here at NBC Universal. Thank you for taking the world famous studio tour. To get the most out of your visit here with us today, you can download the official Universal Studios Hollywood app for up to the minute wait time, show times, and park info. The park closes tonight at 7. When you get off the tram in just a moment, you're going to see the bins where you throw your 3D glasses. Make sure you don't throw your real glasses in there. People do that all the time by mistake. And I hope you all have a really great rest of your day here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA.